The idea of City Winery really came from an opportunity I had to make wine on the West Coast with a real winemaker and do a barrel. And it was so much fun. But as an egocentric music producer, to be able to put "Produced by Michael Dorf" on the bottle and hand that to my friends who were also into wine, and then they all said, "Hey, I want to make wine." And so many people said I would like to have that same experience, that it made me realize there is something to this model. But I couldn't just do that. It seemed that it needed to be combined with an enterprise that worked on the enjoyment of wine as much as it was the making of the wine. And if you combine those things into one place, then it was going to be a unique New York establishment. City Winery is the first fully operational winery in New York City, but it is so much more than just a winery. We are a private event space, a restaurant, and an intimate concert hall. We are because we're also a gathering place for people who really want to have the wine country experience, can do it right here in the middle of Manhattan. There is nothing like this place anywhere in the world. I mean, we really have created a unique concept of combining specifically do-it-yourself wine with great music in an intimate environment. So we've had artists as diverse as Boz Scaggs and Suzanne Vega and Philip Glass with Patti Smith. It's really special to be in a small room, being able to drink wine in a glass and have this very close proximity to the talent. We've created a very modular space. So we have the winery that's kind of set apart, but you can see it through glass. Our main space seats 350 people, which goes from being an intimate concert hall to a full dining room to a private event room that can host a number of different kinds of configurations. We're sitting in a 20-person private dining room, which is next to our cellar where we have 220 barrels of wine. And we have a VIP space within the restaurant, so we're actually able to do 4 or 5 parties all at the same time in one night, or have it all open in one kind of flowing facility. Having an event or a dinner party or a class in a winery is surrounded by the stainless steel vats, and you're picking up the odors of the fruit, you do feel like you're in the middle of wine country, and it's just a very special experience. Our food is excellent. Andreas Barara, our chef, has put together a cuisine that is essentially a pairing menu. It's plates that work well with wine, and that has been a huge success. We even are using the wine lees, which is the accumulated yeast in the barrels, for our pizza dough. The old axiom that wine is made in the vineyard is true. So we're buying great grapes from fantastic vineyards. As an urban winery, we get to go to where the grapes are grown best. Then there's 2 other small ingredients. A great winemaker like David LeConte, and we got very lucky with him, and having some good equipment.
The main parameters is going to be the maturity of the berries, what we call the phenolic maturity. For the red crop, we are getting the whole cluster here in New York. It's look amazing, but it's true. And we are using 2 one-belt conveyor, a destemmer, a sorting table, and another belt conveyor. We have the particularity at City Winery to not use any pump during our reception of crop. It's mainly because we are trying to preserve the integrity of the berries. We is going to also preserve the aromatic freshness of our wine on the finished product.
We have a very unique way to experience the winemaking process. It's where you get to essentially own your own barrel of wine. You get to pick the grapes. You work with David LeConte. The barrel program now has been very popular, and we're selling more and more barrels to large corporations like Wired Magazine and NBC and law firms. I wanted to start selling wine as fast as we could, and David, the winemaker, said, you could put a tap straight down into the cellar and sell it before we would be even ready to bottle. It'd be fresh wine. And he put together a system that preserves the wine, but then pumps it up through looks like a beer system right into the glass. And it tastes delicious, and we're able to do it without bottling. And people are loving it. We're selling about 50% of our wines by the glass is our own wine out of the tap. I love seeing people peer in from the street, and they're looking in and they see these, large vats and people actually making wine in this space. One of the greatest things about this place is having an artist like Lou Reed or having Bobby De Niro in the house and having them going, you're really making wine here? Yeah, we're making wine right here in the middle of Manhattan. That is something very special.